It's 200 miles to Chicago. It's overcast. We have a car full tank of gas. And I'm wearing sunglasses. That's right, folks. I'm off to where the Blues Brothers are from. Live from Cattleman City, St. Louis. But the true destination is Chicago. So I hope to see you there. Shall you join me? I think you shall. There's the St. Louis Arch. I don't have much time. Leaving Missouri and entering Illinois. So I decided to leave. I had an experience I didn't appreciate. Anyway, so we have just left Missouri and entering Illinois. So some trivia about Illinois. Abraham Lincoln was born here in 1808, near the town of Springfield, and I know more about Chicago than I do about Illinois, but yeah, what's the sign say? Full closure, some sort of closure. Anyway, so we're now in Illinois, and going to a different location before I head into Chicago. Land of Lincoln. It's funny because he didn't live too long in Illinois. He actually lived in Indiana after a while. You know, he was born in Illinois, but then he left for Indiana. Anyway, Chicago. So, you know, Illinois is the meatpacking area, and Chicago is the meatpacking capital. In 1872, they had the famous Chicago Fire. The story goes that a cow in Mrs. O'Leary's barn started it, but whether that's true, you know, that's kind to be debated, whether or not that's true or not. You know, no one. You know, no one knows if that's really true or not, but anyway, so the 1893 World's Fair was the big World's Fair for Chicago. My grandparents were at that World's Fair, and my great grandparents were at the World's Fair of 1893, Chicago. Well, that's where Edison displayed his electrical display, you know, for electric, you know, with electric light bulb and running water. The Museum of Science and Industry and the Field Museum were built specifically for the World's Fair. You know, expositions in those days were big deals back then, so they take, you know, practically a whole month to prepare, a whole month to do the whole thing. And, there were World's Fairs. And of course, my great-grandfather started the Dearborn Press in Chicago, where the Sears Tower is today. I know it's called Willis Tower. I know Willis Insurance Group owns the Sears Tower, but I'm going to call it Sears Tower because Sears is my family's history. I said my great-grandfather printed the Sears and Roebuck Sears catalog in 1893 to, up to World War II. Sears catalog, Sears and Roebuck. Sears was the first one to have a catalog, mail order catalog where people could buy whatever. And back in those days, Sears, you could buy everything. You could buy a house, you could buy a car, you could buy a horse, you could, you could buy, Sears sold everything in those days. Just like, Sears sold everything. And thanks to the railroads, that made it possible to ship items all over the United States. And of course, that's put Sears on the map. As I said, my great-grandfather printed the catalog up to 1940, up to World War II. Both my great-grandparents, both my grandparents were born in Chicago, and so were my grandmother on my other side of the family are from Chicago. Skipping ahead to the 1920s, Al Capone had a racket in Cicero because of Prohibition, and he was the mob boss in Cicero, Illinois. But the thing is, he was great to everybody. He was great to the population. He was great to people. He was just public enemy #1 for bootlegging alcohol and having speakeasies during Prohibition. And of course, Chicago is known for the Untouchables and the original FBI, the Untouchables, a national police force. Not just speakeasies, but not just speakeasies, but criminals, and all of a sudden in 1930s, you had criminals in general. The reason I'm staying in the slow lane is I have to get over to a different highway here to get to my destination. And that's why I'm going super slow around here. I'm stuck behind a slow vehicle, unfortunately. Anyway, so Chicago has its rich history, and of course my father was born in Chicago, and of course you have the Blues Brothers, and this guy is going slow. I'm gonna pass him. I'm sorry. I can't stand how slow he's going. Good grief. Man, how you're driving sucks, buddy. You're going below the speed limit. The speed limit said 65. And he's going...
In 1.5 miles, take exit 10 on the right to I-255 north, then keep left.
Speed limit's 65 and the guy's going 45. Good grief. So I'm recording that. But anyway, so I had to leave St. Louis. Didn't care for the city that much. Maybe next time I'll get a chance to actually go to the St. Louis Arch. I just figured for time, Good grief. Okay, so I'm heading to my next destination. So this is Edwardsville, Illinois, and I passed some very, very nice houses. I mean, they're very, very nice houses. They are huge, and I didn't think to film earlier, but I decided to film now. And so we're in Edwardsville, Illinois. It's a very nice area. So now we're on Route 66, and yeah, left St. Louis. So yeah, my great-grandparents moved to Chicago. My grandparents were born in Chicago, and of course my father was born in Chicago. And yeah, so that's where we're heading to today. And my mind went blank on what I was going to say next, so I'll just continue recording. The reason I'm recording this part here is if you look to the right, I'm actually apparently parallel with even an older alignment, which I never really got onto. So I'm parallel with an older alignment to the right here. The reason I'm recording this section of 66 is because I passed a sign just now saying this is the very first original stretch of 66 from 1928. This road here is the very first original 66 route. Because I had a choice and I chose this one, and it's well paved. So obviously there wasn't striping in 28, but this is the very first original 66 route.
1/2 mile. Keep right to Snell Road.
Just wanted to show you this. This is 1926 Route 66 brick road. Not the Yellow Brick Road, but it is a brick road. Just wanted to show you that. It's kind of very fascinating here. Okay. So I thought I would record a little bit more of Springfield, Illinois. It's the state capital of Illinois. And I think if I remember correctly, it was actually Peoria, Illinois is where my father got sick at the world's greatest sandwich. So, but yeah, this is where Lincoln was buried. He lived here for a short time. And I just thought I would just went in the medical district of Springfield, Illinois. I think people thought that this was the actual Springfield that the Simpsons were based off of, and then people thought Springfield, Missouri, and there was other Springfield. But apparently it's the Springfield in Oregon, right? You know, I guess they kind of came clean. You know, years on end for the Simpsons, people are thinking, oh, well, it must be Springfield, Illinois. No, apparently it's Springfield, Oregon. They kind of came clean after the Simpsons movie. So, and just a little other tidbit. I've been passing through a lot of train tracks, a lot of train tracks, a lot of cemeteries. When I've been passing through small towns. Okay, so I think the next stop will be Ogden and Harlem. Entering the Chicago area, I'm on 355 by accident because the roads were closed, a lot of detours and stuff. A lot of road construction on this route. So I'm trying to get to Berwyn, Illinois. So my father met Colonel Sanders, so I'm trying to get to that. But I might have to pay another toll again. I don't know. I'm trying to get to Berwyn, Illinois. I just wanted to.
You're on I-55.
On the Eisenhower Expressway, traffic magically appeared. Just wanted to on the expressway here. So entering Berwyn, Illinois here, and we're gonna go to a KFC coming up, and this KFC was founded by Colonel Sanders himself, and my dad met him at this KFC. So we're in the Chicago area, and we're going to be entering Berwyn, Illinois. Gasoline is $2.36 down here. That's good to know. 36 down here in Chicago. Okay. So. Notice all the buildings are brick on purpose because of the Chicago fire. Everything's brick or steel, something that's not wood. So I'm gonna photograph the KFC. I'll eat there and then head on over to the end of the trail of Route 66. Factory Iron, which is about it. I just wanted to find that KFC. $2.26. Interesting.
In 1/4 mile, arrive at Ogden Avenue and Harlem Avenue. Arriving at Ogden Avenue and Harlem Avenue.
The hell? Your problem now? The hell's your problem? Okay, geez, you know. I don't know what I'm being honked about. Well, folks, the KFC that my dad knows about is gone. This is the building that's left of the KFC. I'm at Ogden, Harlem, and I'm just recording that everything's gone. Everything's just gone. It's just, I mean, the building's still here, but the KFC is literally gone. So I do not know what happened here. As you can see, the signage is gone. And the White Castle's still there. I'm gonna see if I can get a bite to the White Castle. I'm gonna see what's gonna happen with White Castle. So yeah, this is whoops. I gotta watch my footing. Ow! I have a bad leg. But yeah, you had to. So yeah, we had to see what happened here. Okay. I'll sign off here. When I get to Lakeshore Drive. So I found a blues and jazz station. So I'm going down Ogden Avenue. I'll make a right turn on Jackson. So in Chicago proper now. Wanted Blues Brothers type stuff, but do what I could do. So definitely freeform jazz. station.
We'll take care of her, young.
Yeah, definitely. The rap is also in Chicago too. So definitely in Chicago. Yeah. I don't know what type of rap that is. $1.99 here. Okay, it's cheaper here in Chicago proper. It looks like. I couldn't tell if that was a red light or what. It was hard to tell. It was kind of angled. I think it was for the other one. I think I'll put the I put the jazz back on. I don't know. I couldn't tell if it was very hard to tell if that was a red light. If we had I couldn't tell what we had here. I put the jazz station back on. So I just realized there's a center, there's two Ogdens here. There's Ogden on the right, Ogden here on the left. I just realized because there used to be a streetcar here. But yeah, the center here used to be a streetcar. So I'm on the bigger Ogden, I guess. Remember, Chicago had a streetcar. Every major city had a streetcar. Just noticed that. If you notice, there's two of them. I don't know what's going on there, but anyway, so I'm trying to get to Lakeshore Drive, and once I get to Lakeshore Drive, I'll record from there. I guess there's two Ogdens. I'm not into freeform jazz, but I was trying to find a blues station, but this is the closest I could get. Jazz and blues station. So it looks like that's the elevated. No, that's railroad. Fog. Look at this. So I had a detour. I got a few blocks were closed off for some awkward reason. So I don't know what it could be. It could be anything. Oh well. So we're crossing the famous Chicago River. They dye it green during St. Patrick's Day. And here, to the left, even though you can't see it very well in the fog, we're going to be approaching the famous Sears Tower. Or maybe it's on the right. There's so much, there's fog today, so So yeah, right next to Union Station right now, and crossing the Chicago River. I believe the Sears Tower's to the left. Bridge raises. Kidding. Going down, there's the elevated, downtown Chicago. Almost there. We're crossing the Congress Parkway. We're at Jackson and Clark. So, boy, the lights are long here. Closed too. Michigan Avenue closed. Detour again, it looks like. Darn it. It says N66, but the official
It's
end
too
of
bad
the
it's too
trail.
foggy, but here we are approaching.
There's Lake Michigan in the distance. I wanted to hit Lakeshore Drive and then I'd reach the end of everything. Well, here we are, going to be approaching the end of Lakeshore Drive. And I don't know, can I find a place to park? So, I don't know where to park. I think Lakeshore Drive is a main thoroughfare. So, straight ahead is Lakeshore Drive, is Lake Michigan. So, I would say we concluded as I'm sitting at the stoplight, we concluded Route 66. So I'll see you out there.